Here we are with the very last game of the second season of Qlan War 2 Division 2. Second season of Qlan War Division 2. The last game, bronze game between Firestorm and DC. You should be very familiar with at least Firestorm if you watch the semi-final between them and the Suicide Squad. So that is of course Riki, Thunder, Flamer and Tom, and then we have a Polish squad of DC with Ponczek, ER, Sniegov, Pooll, and I think Airman is playing for them as well. I'm not sure if Airman is here today. Ah, and they have GRL, and they might even have more players than that. I'm not quite sure. Firestorm lost 0-3 against the Suicide Squad in their semi-final. I'm not quite sure about the other semi-final. I can actually have a quick look. Let's see there. DC also lost against Axemen 3-0. Even M2 was very, very close though. Only 9 frags between the two teams. But anyway, neither of the teams won a single map in their respective semifinals. You're very right, Fuad. Almost a Polish derby. Flamer from Czech Republic or Czechia. Other than that, everyone is from Poland. Poland has a really strong scene at the moment. They have enough players for one Division 1 team and 2 Division 2 teams. But it's quite interesting as well that a couple of years ago Polish players were nowhere to be found. Somehow their scene just disappeared, and then just as surprisingly they came back again. Almost with full force. Even Insane was back for a while. I think the only player that we haven't seen lately from Poland is Avenger. He would be a nice addition as well. So just like the grand final and the semifinals, I believe this is best of 5 and TB3 of course. So only DM2, DM3 and E1M2. And DC is known to be very good in DM2, and it was perhaps quite surprising that against Axemen they lost by a fairly big margin. So I believe they should be able to do much better here against Firestorm. But that being said, Tom is an excellent player, would, in my opinion, belong to Division 1. But that being also said, I haven't seen the Firestorm guys play all that much lately. So it will be quite interesting to see how they do today. They were warming up a bit at least. I wonder where everyone disappeared. Okay, ER says ping drama. ER, although he is Polish, I believe he lives in Ireland. So that could cause some problems here. Regarding pings, that is. Just a state of mind. In many ways it is. Up to a point, I guess. And of course lower ping. I know that you're probably joking, but... I've been able to play reasonably well up to 77 ping in Quake World. When I was just really used to it. It didn't feel all that awkward. But then when you play with very low ping, 12, 26 most of your games, and then you're suddenly thrown into one where you're playing with, let's say 77 or 100 or even higher, then it can feel extremely horrible. It can throw you really off when you're used to certain kind of things to work, and then when they don't, it feels like you can't even concentrate on anything in the game, even if it's not ping related, because the ping is disturbing you so much. So in that sense, I think it's not so far-fetched that it's kind of a state of mind as well. At least that is what happens to me. Because usually it's the other way around. I don't have to worry about hitting my shots that much. I can concentrate on doing the right things. But then suddenly when that base is taken away from my game, then it feels like I can't concentrate on strategies or playing correctly when I can't even trust my aim or my screen, even like what I'm seeing on my screen. Yeah, exactly. That is what happens to me as well. And I think it's the same for many players. I know some players though who just almost refuse to play with anything else or anything higher than 26. And it can really hurt them when they are then forced to play with 38 or even 51 in a one-on-one tournament, or no matter what tournament it is, in a tournament game where equal or as equal as possible pings are being forced. Then those players who never ever practice with high ping, they tend to suffer quite a bit. But here we have really even pings, it seems, across the board. Average 30 versus 35 at the moment. Some players with 25, some with 38, 39. Looks pretty good to me. So, I wonder if they decided already to play DM2 first. That would be a very Polish thing to do. If that is the case, then for DM2, we have for DC Airman ER, Ponczek, and Sniegov. That looks like a solid DM2 lineup. And for Firestorm, I think they will have these 4 players for each map. Riki, Thunder, Tom, and Flamer. Flamer being the only non-Polish guy today. Alright, they're readying up for DM2. This gives me motion sickness. Was it Thunder? Wiggling his mouse all over the place. Alright, I'm happy you like the textures. Here we go. DM2 first map. 3, 2, 1, go. Let's see who gets the first low. It's ER. Goes for the box. DC got the quad as well, and a full start for DC. They shortcut for quad, got the high rocket. With quad as well. Airman is pretty weak, we could check what he's doing. I'm glad we checked. Standing on a spawn and dies with his rocket quad. That's horrible. Let's see. ER ran out of rockets, can't save this slow rocket. Thunder steals it. That's excellent news for Firestorm. A horrible full start for DC, but Firestorm coming back with a vengeance. Nice telefrag. Also ER running out of rockets. Ooh, that red steal though by a mate, that was really, really bad. And Thunder goes down and we can go back to ER. He took some rockets at Red Mega, probably. And he's waiting for this quad, which is 3 seconds late. Wastes a teammate and an enemy takes the high rocket. This is really interesting. Wow, well played. Who is there? Riki being an absolute nuisance. And ER ends up going down. That was excellently played by Riki. Although now he's down as well. A huge fight for a low rocket. Tom is here with a huge stack. And we'll get the low rocket. Well played with SSG there. I think he mowed down 2 enemies. And one more SSG frag. He doesn't need the rockets. Thunder again can take the SSG. And Tom... he should go for this next quad. And I don't really have to tell these guys how they should play. They know their DM2. Low rocket is up, no one is there. Tom gets the red. Goes forward against enemy quad. So Tom is the only rocket now for Firestorm. DC has 4. This looks very dire for Firestorm. Let's see. Tom needs to make a difference. Here. At least he's able to survive, which is really good news for him. But he's facing so many stacked rocket guys. Airman goes down. I think he had the quad even. Riki again playing really well there. Surviving with the low rockets. Rocket makes his way to Red Mega. ER falls back to box and manages to kill Tom, who had been hiding at high rocket for quite a while there. But suddenly DC loses 3 rockets all around the map, and Riki and ER are the only rockets in the game. Riki unfortunately is sitting at Red Mega. I think he didn't have rockets, so he wasn't able to make his way towards quad. Airman picks quad up and waits for this high rocket and has more than enough time to make it to low rocket. He's in no hurry at all. But he's not heading in that direction. Being harassed by SG guys. Okay, finally he's here. And he makes it just in time. Well played. Although I would have liked to see him go there a bit earlier, just to be safe. Okay. Airman boars in the box. That was unexpected. Let's see who gets the pack. Thunder is going for it in path. Will he get it? No, he didn't. Sniegov, the only rocket for DC at the moment, waiting for the squad, gets it and kills an enemy rocket, but Thunder comes from high tele and kills him. Now ponczek with a fully stacked rocket jumps up to quad. Maybe wanted to guard that high rocket, but didn't do it very well. He can't possibly think that the quad is still about to spawn. I hope not. Ponczek is about to get double mega. So that is great news for him. Thunder goes down and drops a pack. DC pick it up, and suddenly Flamer is the only rocket for Firestorm. We are nearing 5-minute mark of the game. DC is leading by roughly 30 frags. Let's see what Flamer is up to. Oh, okay. That wasn't very good. Goes down very easily. But I think the pack goes Firestorm's way. And Tom gets the quad. That's nice. Thunder is extremely weak. A sneeze would kill him. High rocket spawns in 6 seconds. Tom should go and make sure that it's empty, especially when he saw that an enemy went there. Now he takes it, and will he go to low rocket? That's what I want to see. Him saving both of the rockets. Even now, I still would go, even after that rocket. He should have gone. Because he outpositioned that rocket guy. He was forced to go towards the red mega side. It would have been quite easy for Tom to make an attack there. And save the low rocket. Maybe even kill that enemy rocket, or at least force him all the way back to red mega. Now he gave DC a bit of breathing room there, and they were able to get the low rocket. And who was it? Well, one of the DC guys made it to red mega, I believe. Back to safety. And Tom ends up going down at the next quad. ER wasn't able to save the pack and drops a pack for Riki. Let's see what he does with the pack he got for himself. Looks good so far. He stopped fragging for his team as well. Perhaps not the biggest name in Firestorm, but he knows how to play. Now a fight against ponczek that he was never going to win, not with that stack. Now let's jump to auto track for a while. Tom destroys a teammate and is getting ready for quad. Let's see how he handles the enemy rocket there at quad top. Ah, no, the rocket fell down. No, there is another one, okay. I wonder if he was able to keep track of all the enemy rockets there. Sniegov gets away with quad and is holding tally for a while. No armor to his name. Fails to press the button as well. Now he gets the yellow. And high rocket would be up soonish. I think he trusts his teammate to get it. Airman is at quad with no weapon. And low rocket is safe as well. Now it looks like full map lock for DC because they were able to pick up the low rocket. I think ER picked it up, and ER is weak but still holding on to red mega, and now he gets red, and he should have no problems getting the next low rocket, even though they are flooding him a bit. Might be more problematic than he would have thought. Damn auto track. Okay, he actually lost the low rocket. He didn't die himself, ER that is, but Riki was able to grab the low rocket and is now hiding at red mega. I will switch over to Riki actually to see how he's doing there. Oh, he challenged that low rocket, lost the only rocket in his team. That's Not good news for Firestorm. Quad is surviving, was close to dying, but didn't fall. Now the timing for the next low rocket is quite awkward for DC, and I'm expecting Firestorm to be able to put up a good fight there, because the quad doesn't quite have enough time to make it to low rocket before it spawns. And there's Sniegov at low, but he doesn't have rocket, so I would really expect and even hope that Firestorm picks it up. And yes, they do. It's Riki again. Let's switch over to his point of view. So there is an excellent example of a situation where it would have been very beneficial for the quad to be able to delay the low pickup for a while for, oh, what a horrible pack. The spawn was able to steal the mega and gets a pack as well, and suddenly red mega is lost. ER is there, no red for him yet, but he now picks one up. And even, well, Flamer's rocket in rocket box can make a difference here. For Firestorm's sake, I really hope it does, because otherwise this looks really hopeless. And Flamer is just sitting in red box. And what happened with the fight there? I think he just ran away, and now he goes down even. ER in the meanwhile picks up the low rocket and is surviving here, and we can jump to Airman's quad. And it was 5 minutes ago, roughly a 30 frag difference. Since then, DC has roughly tripled their frags and Firestorm doubled. And that's not great news for Firestorm. So now we have 120 frags between the two teams. Looks very, very bad for Firestorm. Riki, once again their only rocket. Let's see if he can make a difference now. He needs to. Waiting for this red box. Quad is spawning in 10 seconds. He wants that quad, but at the same time it will be very difficult to get it. Yeah, almost. Well, he actually manages to pull it off. He goes down immediately, so I'm not... Oh, a team rocket kill, nice. Nice rocket by Sniegov, too bad it was a player of the wrong team. Flamer killing ponczek then, and they actually killed the last rocket as well. Now, this could be a comeback. I don't believe it will be, but this really could be. Look at the rockets. It was 4-1 rockets, then suddenly 2-0, and now it's 4-0. This is DM2 at its best. Huge swings both ways. Just, I wonder if they realize that this is the situation. If Firestorm realizes that now we have 4 rockets and they have none, probably they don't, and Sniegov manages to steal the low rocket. What Firestorm really needed to do there was to push for low rocket really hard and take a big risk doing so as well, because they are so far behind. But they probably didn't realize what was happening. They didn't realize that the enemy didn't have a single rocket. Sniegov grabbed the low rocket and is still surviving here at Telly. He wants that yellow. ER doesn't steal it, he goes for the high mega as well. And we are looking at 2-1 in rockets. Sniegov has no problem surviving here at high and preparing for the next quad, which spawns in 10 seconds. Probably should take it instead of airman. Waits for it patiently. Grabs it. And now low rocket timing is very, very awkward. It spawns almost exactly at the same time with quad, so there's no way you can make it there with quad. And it is not without a risk if you want to stay here and pick up the next rocket even. Because the enemy can try to push you, like Flamer did there. He was way too early though. Because the low rocket is spawning now. And now the timing is even worse. Okay, one of the rockets goes down. Sniegov manages to steal the pack, and this is an ultra rare situation in DM2. There are no rockets, not a single rocket in the game, until ponczek now picked one up. He's waiting, and he didn't even want to wait for the quad. He wants an armor before it. This tele spawns exactly at the same time with quad. He doesn't want to wait for it. ER goes down, but that's not a problem. Ponczek will grab the quad for free, and in the meanwhile Tom has taken the low rocket with 200-200. Fighting at red mega now, but now it's really getting too late for Firestorm to do anything. Airman picked up the high rocket, having a huge fight here against Tom. Airman drops a pack. That goes... Probably Tom himself picked it up. So we are looking at 2-1 in rockets now that DC picked up the low rocket. And still Firestorm is unable to find an opening. A real opening. Well, they had one there when they had 4-0 rockets, but they just didn't utilize it very well. Now 2-2 in rockets. Normally it would be a fine situation for ER. What a lava trap. So normally it would be an okay or even a good situation for a Firestorm, but not when you're trailing by 130 frags and you have 4.5 minutes to go. You need basically a full map lock or at least 2-0 rockets, which you will convert to 3-0 rockets as quickly as possible, and then even by taking huge risks, you will go for the full map lock. Now DC will have most likely no problems heading to a crushing victory here in DM2. Oh, ponczek goes down to a squish. Nice, he was well stacked as well. Firestorm again leading in rockets 2-1, but they have been unable to utilize these rocket advantages. Now again 2-1 in rockets, just now they need to make a difference. There's one rocket at red mega. He manages to escape to center. Riki is running out of rockets. Find teammate is securing this low rocket, which is fine. Problem is that ponczek still has a fully stacked rocket at NG and is causing all kinds of problems on that side of the map. But I still like this decision by Riki here. He stays at red mega because this is the only way they can still pull this off. It is very unlikely, but within the realm of possibilities, not anymore. Not with this quad. Ponczek just jumps in, steals the quad, and bores the quad. But I don't believe that even that is enough, unfortunately. Let's see, it's 120 frags in 2 minutes. Even I haven't seen such a comeback ever happen. As great as comebacks can be in DM2, this is too much. And this is just ridiculous now, with less than 5 minutes or now less than 2 minutes to go. We are starting to see Firestorm wake up and winning those rocket fights and putting up a really good fight. But they just weren't able to do so during the first 15 minutes of the game, which is unfortunate because this could have been a very close one. But Maybe Firestorm will do better in E1 M2 or DM3, and we get to see another DM2. Oh, yet another boar. Those are the boars that we were missing in the grand final in Division 2. We got one by Sniegov in DM2, but here we have had our share. For sure. So, with 1 minute to go and 110 frags between the two teams, DC is definitely going to win this one. But Firestorm were able to catch up at least a bit over the last 5 minutes, because they were trailing by 130 frags and now it's 110. Even 100 frags. But once again, Sniegov goes for the quad, is able to steal it, and that is the last bad news for Firestorm. Almost bores there as well. A bit of self-damage with quad rocket. Not quite a bore though. Nice double frag there. Trying to go for the top frag. Ah, not quite. There was the last frag at Telly available. But not enough time. So that's it for map number 1. DC wins 273 to 167. Ponczek with 76 frags. Top fragging DM2. Rocket Killer award goes for Riki and Sniegov. They share. They rejoice in their shared victory. 12 rocket kills each. Annihilator goes to ER at 13k. Quads go 14 to 6 in DC's favor. 14 to 6 is a number we saw multiple times in the grand final between Axemen and the Suicide Quad as well. I find it quite interesting. But yeah, DC was really getting more quads than they deserved, in my opinion. Or perhaps they deserved to get them, but they were not kind of supposed to get them. Firestorm didn't play very well there near quad. They should have been able to get more than 6. Let's see the drops. 27 dropped rockets for Firestorm and 23 for DC. I have no time to check the exact player. Let's make sure that auto track is off and we go to DM3. 1, go. Who gets the first rocket? It's Thunder. Let's see, he will go to yellow, I'm afraid. Yes, he will. Airman could have been there with his quad SG, and he is, but he's really weak. And Riki, what are you doing? Help your rocket mate. And Thunder here, I don't like this. I really don't like this. Drop a pack. Yeah. That's better. At least a decent outcome. Tom, on the other hand, let's see what he does now. He's able to save the rocket for Riki. Not perfect though, because he's super weak, and now they fail to grab the next yellow. Airman steals it. Not great. Unbelievably, Riki survives with that. Oh, but Tom drops a pack. That was not very well played there by Firestorm. They had a really good start with Pent and Rocket, but they end up losing the Pent Rocket guy and dropping a pack. Riki is surviving. Ponczek gets the quad. And he has LG as well, no cells though, and he is weak. Oh, that rocket would have made such a huge difference for Firestorm. Now Ponczek finds some cells for himself. He wants to go back to red. That would be risky though. He has LG, which is huge. He almost eats that rocket. 20 HP, 1 SG will take him down. Flamer. Where was your SG now? Now the rocket needs to come back. Yeah, and it does. But another rocket for DC comes there as well, and what happens to the red? Okay, Riki is actually still alive. Will he survive? There's a rocket pack at red low. Flamer, please. No. Enemy gets the pack. There are 2 packs at red now. Airman goes for them. Flamer goes down because Tom kills him. Tom remains the only rocket in the game, but is unable to go to quad in time. Kills the quad though, with nice rockets. And now there's one LG attacking at ring, kills Tom. What a chaotic DM3 start. And another pack. Ponczek drops a pack for Riki. Riki drops yet another pack. That's huge. 20 cells at red. Not a pack that you want to drop. Sniegov super weak with the red. But they are unable to find him. And Sniegov surviving. Yeah, he's surviving. He had 10 HP probably. Running out of cells though, but it looks good for DC. Airman has a solid stack at yellow and he's going for the next quad, and I don't think Firestorm can do anything about it. Sniegov, even with 2 cells, I would probably leave the quad for him. Because there's nothing he can do with those 2 cells. He's now relegated to hiding, and even the quad ends up going down. Firestorm has been doing an excellent job killing weapons, but they are not doing very well surviving with their own. Let's see, Flamer now, can he do any better? But I wonder, he has 31 cells, this is beautiful. Now he should be saving most of these cells. If I was Flamer, well, I would have been staying at red. I don't know what he's doing here. They already have 2 rockets here, and now when he's going back to red, he will find that it's full of enemies. There's an LG enemy at red top, and he ends up wasting these cells to kill SG guys, and now he's even going down. That's a horrible play, because he really wanted to save that red and those cells to get the next quad, but now he achieved absolutely nothing. He killed 1 SG guy. Totally wasted. Sniegov surviving with 2 HP, and Rocket makes it to Pent Mega. And let's see. Tom is at SNG with Rocket. Riki is waiting for red, probably at red top. Now will Sniegov go down? Yes, he will. He survived with 2 HP, but couldn't survive at red, SNG anymore against Tom's sneaky, fully stacked Rocket. And auto track should be off. Let's make sure. Yes, it is. And let's see who gets the pent. Riki jumping in with no weapon. Tom with a weapon, but too late. Okay, thankfully for Firestorm. At least the teammate got it. They were all 4 there though. So let's see what the... Well, Tom's rocket is probably the most interesting thing here, because he's facing the enemy ring quad. He will sneak his way up to red. Yeah, that makes sense. Then what is the pen doing? Dying. But it's at least better than enemy pen. So Pooll has a weak rocket at yellow. Let's see if he can survive. He gets the yellow. And probably will survive for a while at least. But he might be found by Tom at some point. Especially now that Riki probably tells Tom that, okay, enemy rocket at SNG. What will Tom do about it? Tom most likely has that SNG Mega as well. Tom is at quad. That is brave. Knowing that DC has probably more than 1 weapon. Tom manages to escape all the way to red. And Pooll goes down. Did he drop a pack as well? I'm not quite sure. Thunder gets a rocket in LG in water. Riki drops rocket pack at bridge, and DC gets it. Airman gets it. Tom, well, let's see Sniegov's attack towards red. It's just a bit too late, and there's no way he's getting in. He will be happy to survive this. Tom anchoring red there, full red, rocket, 60 HP. He's quite fine there. He just needs his teammate. Now Thunder got the red. He needs Thunder to get a weapon. Thunder, you have to go to water or to rocket to get a weapon. Oh, Tom eats a huge hit and ponczek kills him. And did he get a pack as well? He might have. That is a huge turnaround there. And DC suddenly with 3 rockets. Thunder didn't get anything with his red. Now he has yellow rocket, being the only weapon in his team, killing the enemy quad SG. A minor victory for their team, at least. What is this? What was that rocket jump? No, don't do that. That looks horrible. Wasting 50 of his stack against an enemy who was already falling back and spamming. Very risky. I don't like that move. And he goes down. He didn't drop a pack, but dropping a pack there wouldn't have been maybe so huge anyway, because DC already has 3 weapons. So taking that fight till the end wouldn't have been a totally horrible decision, I think. What will Tom do? Nothing. His LG goes down. No luck there catching the enemy quad off guard. And now we are staring at a brutal team overlay. 4 rockets versus absolutely nothing of Firestorm. So Riki waiting for LG. The only glimmer of hope with his yellow. He needs to pull off a miracle here. The best thing going for Firestorm here is that they are only trailing by 30 frags. Oh, that would have been a perfect opportunity. This kind of play I don't like to see. He has the stack, he has a weapon, and he's just running around, not shooting at anything, not engaging a single enemy. He's just too afraid to fight, I think. And then he ends up losing everything without doing anything. He doesn't deal... I don't think he hit a single cell there. He had plenty of cells, almost full yellow, full HP. Just pick a fight and try to win that one. Instead of dying by paper cuts, so to speak. You see one enemy, you take a bit of hit, you run away. You see another one, you get hit. You run away again, and suddenly you don't have anything but 0-100 maybe, max. And you still have that weapon, and you haven't done anything, and you can't do anything anymore. Let's see something better by Riki now. At least now he's shooting. He kills one. He's too late for the pent, and goes down because he was just a bit too late. No way of getting through, but I still like that better than the previous one. And yeah, I agree that he was in better position with LG versus that rocket had SNG. It could have been an easy kill, depending on how good his LG is, but it could have been, I think it should have been an easy kill for him. Airman's pent runs out as he jumped after Tom's rocket, killing him. Thunder now... Oh, there could have been a rocket kill even. But now he realizes that there were more than one enemy at red. And he's hesitant to go. And that was a good decision, because he knew that the enemy knew that he was there. So there was no way for him to get through. Especially because he was already 0-100. A single rocket would have killed him. Riki had a rocket, but he dies. Flamer had an LG, he dies as well. And okay, at least Pooll's rocket goes down. Ponczek is extremely weak at red. Let's see what he's doing. No one spawns behind him. He had 8 HP. Rocket LG, 100 cells. That would have been a brutal spawn had he died to 1. And now he gets
HP, then he gets mega health. Then he will go back to red top and take it from airman. Maybe not, airman has only 50 HP, it's perhaps better for him to take it. So Ponczek can stay at red and secure it. Tom dies. He had a rocket. Let's see. Well, Tom has yet another rocket. Tom dropped one though, so Pooll gets a pack and again 4 to 0 rockets. And Tom goes down to the pack he himself dropped. Sniegov really weak at quad. If only Firestorm knew. Okay, quad is up. What is happening? Who gets it? Thunder steals the quad. Ponczek kills it though right away, so no difference, or not a huge difference made there. Riki gets a rocket. Let's see his move. Waiting for yellow, which spawns in 15 seconds. That's horrible. Awful timing. Maybe Tom told him the timing though, so... Come on, yes, run! Why would you challenge there? There's no way that enemy is weak that is pushing you, so just fall through and accept the fact that you're not killing that rocket now. So if he was supposed to fight in the previous situation with that LG, now he definitely was not. He was so out position. Maybe he heard me. Okay. Oh! That rocket, had he hit, it would have been so good. Now, yeah. No way for him to survive after shooting that rocket. DC knew that he was in the tunnel, getting sandwiched by Quad and the rocket who got the red, but now he telefrags an enemy rocket. That's a mini victory for Firestorm, but we are looking at 70 frag gap between the teams. And even though now they managed to kill another rocket, they are in a huge hurry. They desperately need this next bend, and I would say that they even want this next quad. But Riki was not ready for that fight at all. Sniegov totally destroyed him there. And it seems like they are not getting this quad. Let's go to auto track. And Ponczek with his 70 cells. He picks up the quad. And will definitely wreak havoc. Okay, Flamer's rocket is going down. This charge there would have been amazing. An accidental one. Because he fell into water when he was hunting Flamer's rocket down. So there was a window for an epic discharge. That was a sneaky trap. Didn't quite work though. Ponczek survives. Let's see, auto track off. Who is getting the pen? Tom tries to go for it. Riki bores, but somehow Tom manages to survive and finally gets the pen. That bore by Riki was horrible. I think there was no enemy at pen anymore. He just jumped on the pen and only killed himself, and that's it. Nothing more. There was an enemy ring rocket in front of his face, and the pen just ran past him. Did you see that? Yeah, Ponczek is still there. That's unbelievable. But that is the beauty of Ring of Shadows. I probably wouldn't have seen it either. Okay, nice red control. We saw this by Tom earlier in the game. He was controlling red for quite a long time and quite likely hoping for his teammates to find a weapon to replace him at red, but they never did. Now he leaves the red again, which, to be honest, doesn't matter all that much again, and his mates fail to grab the pack as well. A beautiful rocket kill there, by the way, if you didn't notice. He shot a rocket from quad towards ring, killing I think it was Ponczek's rocket, was it? But yeah, too little, too late. In DM2, this still would be doable. In DM3, nope. No way. But this can for sure make Firestorm feel better about the game. If they have a good run of 3 minutes here, now and they can, for example, catch up 30, maybe even 40 frags. That would be stretching it though, but if they manage to get some quad runs going, maybe that will help with their confidence, but that wasn't meant to be. Ponczek gets the quad, albeit being super weak. Challenged by 4 enemies, finally going down. Airman comes to the rescue. And Tom goes down, drops a pack. Self-esteem going down the drain. You go there to red with 4 guys, you kill the quad, and you end up with your opponent having 2 rockets at red. Not good. Not good at all. Ponczek getting ready. Maybe for the next quad in 15 seconds. Wants to get this red though. Doesn't dare to push, but out of all weapons, he's killed by nail gun. That is worse than axe. That is absolutely humiliating when you have 0-100 and the nail gun guy kills you. Okay, Sniegov. Let's see. I should never switch to player's point of view because they just end up dying right away. Yellow is up. Riki, take it. It's funny how often it happens that towards the end of rounds, the team that has been trailing for most of the round, if not the whole round, ends up getting hold of the map. For sure, the winning team playing more loosely is a factor, but it's still surprising how often it happens. For example, there for a while, Firestorm had 2 rockets, 1 LG, 2 no weapons of DC. And finally, Firestorm manages to get a quad. There was that one quad that the Thunder stole and died right away with it. But other than that, I just haven't seen very many quads by Firestorm. DC has been very solid grabbing them. I'm very curious to see quad stats actually. Yeah, my caster's curse is pretty horrible. Just like I said, the players end up dying immediately. I don't even have time to say anything else, but okay, he's dead. I just see in the team overlay that he has a weapon. I'm switching to him, and boom, he's dead. So DC wins 222 by 140. So not as big of a margin as in DM2, but then again in DM2, DM3 margins are not as big usually. So the quad stats, that's what I wanted to see. 14-6 once again. I almost want to make sure that I'm checking DM3 stats, not DM2 stats, but there we are. The exact same quad numbers. DC got only 1 pent, but still there was at least that 1 pent of Riki's that didn't have a weapon. And then you had the first pent of Tom's that wasn't extremely effective either because of it being the first pent and the first rocket giving away his rocket to the pent, so it was kind of messy. Yeah, Firestorm dropping 23 packs, that is huge indeed. You have to remember though that sometimes or quite often when you are in a situation where you are trailing by And usually in frags as well, but also in weapons. When you know that your enemy already has 3, maybe even 4 weapons, and you are trailing by a big margin, then you just know that a pack that I drop now won't make a huge difference, but at the same time I need to try to make a big difference with this weapon, so they are more likely to drop packs as well. Because it just kind of the cost benefit is better there. Unlike in a situation where your opponent has 0 weapons and you have 2. If you drop a pack in that situation, that's huge. That is very bad. Okay, let's see. First rocket goes to Thunder, and he will get the Mega. Nice to see, no rocket jump. I approve. No wasting of rockets, he gets 0-100. And now he can try to make his way towards yellow if he so chooses. That would be quite risky. Quad has gone down though, so he wants this next yellow, and his mates are there. Now I would even, with this yellow, I would push rocket right away. Now it's too late, but maybe he was a bit too late to get the yellow as well to push the next rocket. But that is still something I would have liked to see. I didn't expect to see it, but that would have been nice. Because enemy quad was dead as well. Now Tom took the next yellow, which is fine, as long as he will go to a weapon. Oh, Thunder's rockets were horrible there, and he ends up eating a nade, and we have airman at quad suddenly. This is not the way Firestorm wanted to play that start. Tom thankfully has a rocket at Mega, and he will probably pick that Mega up as well in 8 seconds. And Airman's squad goes down to 2 SG guys. That is a huge loss for DC. And Airman dropped a pack as well, and Flamer picked it up. In the meanwhile, Tom pushed with his... Did he get the Mega? No, he did not. Interesting, he didn't wait for it, but opted to push towards yellow instead. He managed to clean the yellow, but is now running, or has run out of rockets. He picks up the GL and is able to kill the enemies there spawning around him, and gets the next yellow as well. He wants a couple of rockets now. And where are they? Come on! Finally. And just in time for this next quad. And Thunder is there. No! That missed rocket, that was huge. He really could have used this quad. Flamer, come on, take the yellow. Now just make sure that you take the GL. Okay, a mate took it. That's good. Sniegov, Ponczek is at Mega with a rocket. Tom didn't feel like attacking. Riki is waiting for the yellow. Tom is playing quite conservatively, which is probably a good thing at this point. Although DC ends up getting the rocket, which is unfortunate because Firestorm has been picking up these yellows, but weren't able to use the yellows to get the rockets. Oh damn, that was a horrible fight. Tom goes down way too easily, and 3-0 rockets suddenly. That's really bad. One of them goes down at least. What about the quad? Will he survive? I switch to quad, he dies. There you go. I'm sorry, Sniegov. That's my fault. I just killed you. So now let's see what Riki is up to. Will he die as well? He does have 0 rockets. Tom has the mega health. Almost fully as well. He picks up green as well, so his mega is not running out anytime soon. Riki here, I don't like how he's jumping around, making a lot of noises. On the other hand, maybe an enemy will think that he has a huge stack because he's being so loud, so they will not come for him. Maybe it's great mind plays there. No. Again, he goes down to a nade. That's not very nice. Ponczek comes and saves the day for DC for now, and not able to pick up the yellow. That was not great. He really wanted to get that yellow, and now I want to see Firestorm push him hard. Thunder going in with nade. No one is hitting him. What about Tom? Can you make a difference? Unbelievable that ponczek ended up surviving that. Because Firestorm actually pushed him. Thunder had no idea how weak he was and wanted to use that nade instead of SG. And okay, now ponczek goes down. But very well survived there. Tom is a GL with rocket. Checking the quad area. Enemy nade again. They really like their pineapples, don't they? Ponczek, with the only rocket in the game, grabs green, goes towards Mega and will pick it up as well. This is a huge stack in E1 M2. He should feel very confident going towards yellow. Will he be there in time though? Yellow is up. Teammates are pointing at it, but ponczek is not going for the absolute mega stack of E1 M2 of yellow and mega. But perhaps that was for the better. Although airman ends up going down with his yellow. Let's see. No, it wasn't for the better. He drops a pack before the next yellow spawns, and the pack goes Firestorm's way. That is a huge loss for DC. Now it's 2-0 in rockets. Flamer goes down as I switch to him. Now Tom. I would expect him to survive for a while longer. So he gets yellow, eats a quad SG, but the quad is really weak in water. Well, 0.71, not extremely weak, but still could be easy pickings for Tom's rocket. Riki, unfortunately for Tom, has the mega, so that is not spawning anytime soon. He wants to go towards yellow. Yellow is up. Okay, finally someone takes it. And that was GRL of DC picking up the yellow with nade, and he should go towards rocket, I would say. Riki wants to leave this yellow for Tom, and that is a wise decision. Because Riki has full green and some mega. Tom goes to quad and finally grabs it. No nade guy, no quad bores, no nothing, and a rocket kill. Okay, this looks better for Firestorm now. That is 3 rockets to none of DC. And they are actually also leading in frags by 21. And nice, yellow is up. Flamer grabs it with GL. I've heard good things about Flamer and his GL. Should we spectate him a bit? I want to see some Flamer GL magic. He picks up rocket though, so we probably won't. I would imagine him still No, I was just about to say that I would imagine him using rocket when he has one, but he ended up using 50% of his ammo as nades. But didn't drop a pack, that was important. So Riki now preparing for this quad. And finally Firestorm is able to stabilize a bit. This actually doesn't look half bad for them. Quad SSG. Few things are better in Quake or in Live. Unless you miss half of your SSGs. Then that is a sad life. Okay, 7 HP. Will he be able to survive? Yes. A full quad run. Finally. That's good. Well done, Firestorm. Okay, Flamer surviving with his rocket. Don't go to GL. You will die. Don't. You died. He went to GL anyway, and he died. Sad times. Riki picks up the yellow, goes for quad. It's a team nade. Holy fuck. That's bad. Okay, Tom picks up the quad, thankfully. Oh. Okay, another team nade. Nice quad SSG. He couldn't have afforded missing half of his SSGs there. And he does not. Nice. He just wants some frags there because he wants this next yellow, but knew that the yellow wasn't about to spawn, so that was a good place for him to be. But in the meanwhile, he wasn't able to challenge anyone at crossing or at mega or at bridge, so DC ends up getting 2 rockets. Or surviving with 2 rockets, they probably picked up only 1. And now there will be huge fights around the map with so many rockets and so scarce resources. Oh, that hurt. Oh shit. Thunder had, I think, full yellow 100 HP, and he ate a team rocket and a nade, or a nade and half a rocket, I'm not sure. A boar, that wasn't great for DC. They lost 1 rocket there. I think the guy had a rocket who picked up the pack. Okay, girl, are you going down? Yes, he is. Thunder gets the pack. Let's see what Thunder does with the pack, though. Can he survive? He should have heard the spawn, but the spawn might have been actually Tom at Nail Trap. So, Firestorm, they have 2 rockets here at bridge, and take the packs, take the packs. Ooh, ponczek. He's not, yeah, he did the right thing. He didn't save the packs anymore because he was in no position to do so. He just picks everything up, and for a while he was the only rocket in the game until Thunder spawned the rocket. What will happen? Wow, ponczek being quite lucky with the green spawn timing. He ate a rocket, but the green spawned just before the rocket hit, so boom. He ends up surviving, only to drop a pack that Flamer gets. Did Flamer get the frag with a nade? Yes, he did. He did indeed. Too bad we missed it. We saw it at least through the player's pub who got fragged, so that's a mini victory. Flamer taking quite a bit of damage there. Probably wants to go back to yellow, but he's a bit late and falls even to water. And Airman steals the yellow with absolutely nothing and goes down. Good for Firestorm. And this actually, all in all, this looks very good for Firestorm. Looking at the scoreboard. Now 56 frags in favor of Firestorm, which is quite huge in E1 M2. Not easy to catch up. Flamer surviving with absolutely nothing. 6 HP to his name. Drops a pack. Will he get it himself? Nope. Gets the SNG though. That was an awkward fight. Could have been a frag for him had he pushed the guy who got the pack. Okay, Tom with a good stack, but does he dare to go towards quad? 2 rocket guys of DC at mega health. So, okay. That's not good. Don't stand on the spawns, please. Girl, 1 rocket. DC with 2 rockets on this side of the map. Ponczek probably has rockets. Sniegov picks them up. And ends up dying. Flamer kills 2 rockets there. Wow. That was a solid push towards... pick up the GL, you don't want to leave it there. That was a solid push towards crossing. Now just take the yellow, please. Nice. So 40 frags... no, 60 frags in favor of Firestorm now. Looks very good. Now Flamer just use the SST. Don't drop a pack. Nice, well played. Well played. He ends up surviving. Teammates gets the yellow. That's really good. This is a bit of a risky move to go towards quad with absolutely nothing and missing everything, and goes down even. That was not well played. Airman gets the pack. No, was it Sniegov? Who got the pack? Maybe it was Sniegov. And suddenly he's the only rocket in the game. Still, well, almost 70 frags between the two teams now, and 5 minutes to go. This is very difficult for DC. It's doable, but barely. I don't believe that we will see a comeback, but that would be quite epic. Even though I do want to see a 4th map at least. Which probably means if we will get to the 4th map, it will most likely be E1M2 again, I would assume. And the last map then, if we go that far, could be DM2. Okay, Riki with quad, rocket, SSG, SNG, a bit of yellow, full HP. This looks solid. Airman picks up the rocket. But DC is definitely in a big hurry. And they know it for sure. Nice. I would have loved to have seen SSG quad there, but he gets the job done. Kills the only rocket of DC's. And this is just icing on the cake. That's perhaps a bit sour icing on the cake. 2 teams kills by Riki there, but well, it's not going to change the fact that Firestorm is running away with E1M2. Almost once again a team nade. Nice SSG attack, and he will want this next yellow. Getting rid of the pest of SG under yellow, picks up the yellow, and probably wants to find the enemy rocket. And he does, nice. Just as the quad was running out, he finds the... I think it was rocket guy with mega and a bit of yellow left even. So that was a good find, a good attack, and he even survived himself, but that wasn't a requirement for a good quad run. Even a kamikaze's attack towards Mega there would have been fine, because he was followed by a teammate. And they're getting this next yellow. Airman tries to push in with 100-100 rocket, but thought better of it when he saw the opposition having a lot better position there. Airman goes down. And so does Riki. Riki drops a pack. And now, just like in DM3, DC actually gets hold of some weapons or weapon superiority towards the end of the game. But again, it might have been just because Firestorm started to play more loose. And they actually end up going down all 3 rockets of theirs. And suddenly the situation is turned on its head. 3-0 rockets for Firestorm now. Quake 4-4 is just an unbelievable game mode. It's really hard to understand how quickly situations can change. One pack dropped somewhere can suddenly lead to a domino effect where the whole team kind of collapses and then the other team gains everything. Just like that. Roughly 1 minute to go. 80 frags for Firestorm. So we will definitely see a 4th map. And that is always exciting. Because Because the fourth map in a TB3 tournament will be picked by the team that is trailing in map wins, so that will be Firestorm. And Firestorm will likely pick E1M2, I would assume, unless I'm missing something here. And then potentially we will see the fifth map, which then will be picked by DC. And that is quite interesting, because even though DM2 seemed to be better for DC than DM3, even though DM3 looked pretty solid, I still think that Firestorm also looked more likely to win DM2 than DM3. Firestorm just made a lot of easy mistakes in DM2, in my opinion. And DC had a really good start as well, even though they messed up their full start, but still. So I would like to see DM2 again as a fifth map, if we get that far. So, indeed, Firestorm won map number 3 against DC, 279 to 204. Riki and Tom top fragging with 77 frags. Sniegov dying 104 times, that is huge. Let's see how does his efficiency look. So he's at minus 57. That is very bad. You never want to see numbers like that. At least not in your team. In the opposing team, maybe. Quads, interestingly, very even. And actually went in DC's favor, 11 to 9. Even though Firestorm won the map quite handily. And that is something that, in my opinion, happens quite often in E1M2, or more often at least than in other maps, because I just have found that quad is not quite as important, or I would say not nearly as important as in many other maps. What about rocket pickups and yellows? So Firestorm took 34 rockets and DC 37, so very even there. That's interesting to see, because through the point of views that I was spectating, it felt like DC was mostly picking up the rockets and Firestorm was the team controlling yellow GL side. But according to the stats, and they definitely, most likely they do not lie, it was more even than it seemed to me. Yellows, on the other hand, that is huge. 42 to 13. That is a crazy difference. That only that there explains the difference in frags. There's no, or it is very, very difficult to come back from that efficiency. And also, in addition to that, Firestorm even got more megas, 17 to 11, than DC did. So, a huge victory in that sense for Firestorm. Let's see if they can do it again. Okay. Admin needed for I don't know what. Maybe they want to be ready for some connection issues to be able to pause the game. Here we go. Map number 4. Three, 2, 1, go. Auto track off. No one has picked up the rocket. That is interesting. Let's see who comes here. Tom should have come here. He spawned green. This is unbelievable. Rockets now picked up. This is hilarious. Tom, the guy who should have taken the rocket in the first place, actually ends up getting it because he dies and spawns it. He definitely didn't deserve that spawn, I tell you. Because he already got the rocket spawn and he didn't take it. But he... Oh damn, his team abandons him. But he still is able to get the yellow. Just pick up the SSG pack. There's SSG here, I think. Just pick it up. Just don't leave it there. SSG is so useful in E1 M2. And again, you saw in the previous game how he was telefrag there. And he was again walking on the spawn. That's bad. DC with 2 rockets and quad. That is a horribly played start for Firestorm. I don't know what they were doing. Losing the rocket pickup, well, that's fine, but then they ended up losing the fight at quad as well and dropping a pack, and now they gave or lost the quad to DC, and DC has 2 rockets with yellows. That is a really bad start for Firestorm. At least so far, it doesn't look like they will be able to pick up the most yellows. But this is... We are very early in the game. Let's see... Airman picks up the yellow. We'll go for quad, I would assume. Okay, Thunder is there, greeting him with his rocket. A huge fight. Enemy gets the quad, or Thunder gets the quad. But Airman disposes of it. In the meanwhile, Riki is able to sneak to yellow, steals it, and Airman drops a huge pack. Let's see. Now, Flamer, you need to survive with this rocket. That is what Firestorm needs now. They had a horrible start to this map, but this could stabilize things a bit. And he does get the yellow. He's playing it very, very conservatively. He's afraid that someone will sneak behind his back and get the yellow. Okay, Tom, he will get the next yellow. In the meanwhile, DC picked up the rocket, and Flamer goes down at quad. Pooll kills 2 enemies at quad, gets the quad as well. Doesn't have much to his name besides quad rocket. Nice quad SG though. He wants to go to yellow and gets it. Will he go down? Yes, he does. He got the yellow with 6 HP, ate 1 more SG to go down to 2 and finally goes down. That was great flooding by Firestorm. And let's see, Thunder with 5 HP and a team rocket kill. Ooh, that's painful. That is really painful. But Riki now with the monster stack that we were speaking of. That, I think it was Ponczek, refused to take in the previous one. Don't walk on the spawn now, not with this kind of stack. Hey, don't waste your rockets. And enemy, don't, just don't. What? You hear the nade flood and you're so stubborn that you just push through. Nice rocket kill on this SNG guy. Now he needs to rocket jump up, and he doesn't fail. Those failed rocket jumps we saw in the final way too often, so it's nice to see that he actually pulled it off, because it really mattered now. He needs to drop down and take this HP, but there's a rocket guy, he kills it. Come on! No, he drops a pack. That pack is killed. Will Flamer get the pack? Because there was one at GA. Who got the pack? I think it was Pooll who took the pack, and he gets rockets because he had 0, and he gets the mega. And Airman picked up the next rocket as well, and DC now with 2 rockets for nothing of Firestorm. Flamer with full yellow. That is something I really don't want to see. Full yellow guy waiting for a quad. I wanted to see Flamer at rocket instead. They managed to kill 1 rocket of DC though, so that's at least a minor victory. But they lost the quad, and there's quad rocket guy here that will pick up the yellow. That is bad news. This next rocket is very important. I want to see who picks it up. Airman waiting for it, but he... I was going to say yes, okay, finally he was killed. They really needed that kill. Who picked up the pack? Thunder? Thunder surviving? Are you? Yes, nice. Well done. And... ooh, what an attack towards quad. 2 rocket guys at quad, but they are both pretty weak. Yellow spawning only in 15 seconds. There's no way he's getting this. Not against all those enemies attacking. Ponczek, interestingly, didn't wait for the yellow, went for green. Probably has the yellow timing then. Good stuff. Still didn't take the yellow. He... wait. Okay, pooll, probably, yeah, he took the yellow. So that's fine for DC. Nice rocket. He's wasting a lot of rockets, though. Maybe he hasn't heard that there are not too many rockets in E1M2. Firestorm manages to steal the yellow, though, which is... maybe Ponczek doesn't know it yet, but it could be very bad news for him. Because green is really not something you want in E1M2. When you're attacking quad, at least. Green in... oh, what a rocket by Ponczek. That was so nice. I feel bad for Riki because he... the green was about to spawn in 2 seconds, and even though he left, he couldn't have expected eating that rocket. That was crazy. Flamer, yes, finally those flamer nades. In the previous one we saw 1 rocket kill, there is yet another, that's good. Let's see, flamer nades. Give us more frags. Well, okay, a team frag as well. That is not what I asked for, exactly. Although I didn't specify. So, frag is a frag. Even if it's negative. Pooll versus flamer at rocket. Ooh, and there is something you don't want to see also. Person fighting with... fighting on top of rocket spawn, probably using his rocket script, but because he doesn't have rocket, it shoots with SG, and then when the rocket spawns, he automatically shoots with rocket, and there, drop the pack. In this case, though, maybe worth it. Tom got it, and suddenly they get yellow control. So again, not very deserved, in my opinion, but it happened. So. I don't know if I should fault him for that. I should. I definitely should. It was just lucky that Tom got the rocket. There was no way for him to know that. It's not about W_switch though only. It's it can happen even if you have it set to 2. I can explain it later if you feel like it. So Tom running the yellow side now, which is something I like to see. Tom is such a solid player. Airman with a really beautiful rocket from quad. Oh, Tom is forced away, drops a pack, Airman gets the yellow, and will he guard the pack? Who got the pack? Flamer, maybe? No, I think Ponczek actually took the pack. And Ponczek made his way to yellow here. And Flamer is at nail trap with rocket. Okay, interestingly, Ponczek just decides to leave him there. Goes to quad, and now, because he knows the yellow timing, he will go back to yellow. hoping to kill that rocket guy, but Flamer has left a long time ago. Will he read the situation? He did. That was really well played by Ponczek. Reading Flamer like an open book there. Very well read. Immediately realized that he heard the water splash, but not only that, but he realized that, okay, he didn't go towards low yellow. He must have turned back and then found him hiding there. Really well played. But here we have Pooll versus Tom. The only 2 rockets in the game. Let's see. Pooll is defending here at quad, and Tom goes down. Very unfortunate for Firestorm. But still, it's a 28 frag game. So really anyone's game now. ER with quad SG. They find a rocket guy and kill him. But there was no pack left. Now there was. ER being very lucky to survive with 2 HP though. There was no way for him to kind of calculate for that one. But this can be quite a disaster for Firestorm. Firestorm is able to steal the next yellow though, and at the same time they picked up the rocket. So that is at least something in Firestorm's favor. ER is waiting for this next yellow and will pick it up. A couple of SG guys would have been possibly able to flood ER down, but they never came. So Flamer is at quad now. I want to see what is happening with him because he's the only rocket, and he goes down because he didn't have a single rocket anymore. And Pooll is waiting for yellow, gets it. He has a good stack of rockets, full yellow quad, and he will probably attack this mega. And I don't know what Riki was doing, sleeping, taking a nap. So that was Firestorm's only rocket going down, and Riki spawned the rocket and goes down again. And now Firestorm really needs to pick things up here because they are trailing 3-0 in rockets. And those rockets, well, one of them is dead now, but well, I was going to say that those 2 are stacked, but not anymore actually. Both rockets are pretty weak. Let's see what they will do. Will they be able to survive? Flamer picks up the rocket, is surviving at start. Quad rocket of Pooll's goes down. Now Firestorm really needs to play well to win this one. But they are bleeding frags left and right. There's 3 frags there going DC's way. 1 more. ER, the only rocket. Loses the yellow though, drops it back. Okay, let's see. Flamer, perform a miracle now. That is what we need and your team needs. Nope. No miracles. Hey Riki, maybe you? Not exactly. A miracle in DC's favor, maybe. Ponczek now, DC's only rocket. Flamer picked up the next rocket, I think. And Ponczek, extremely weak at yellow low, but Flamer ends up going down as well, so Firestorm lost their only rocket. Ponczek eating a nade. Will he go down? And he drops a pack. Okay, now, could this be the last chance? Mega is up. Tom with a monstrous stack. 5 minutes to go and 47 frags. Still very much doable in A1M2. But now Firestorm needs Tom to play well, and especially they need him to stop walking on the spawns, which he's constantly doing with these rockets that he has. Oh, so lucky that no one spawned behind him. Double team kill. Not what they wanted, and Flamer stealing the HP. What are you doing? Fuck off, Flamer! Yes, thank you. That's so annoying. And now he's going for the yellow. And suddenly we have 35 frags between the two teams. He wasn't able to catch ponczek there with the mega. It would have been important for Tom himself, because he would have been able to grab the next one maybe. Nice nade. More nades. And this could be a problem for DC if they end up flooding this quad so heavily. If Firestorm can just defend the quad well, then DC might end up beating them with quite a few frags there. Oh no. I think that's it. It is of course still possible. But now ER getting yellow, even though he doesn't have rockets, he will probably pick some up pretty soon. 3-0 in rockets. Damn, this looks bad. A fifth map doesn't look very likely for us. Of course, well played by DC. I just feel like everyone wanted to see 5 maps. And a nice ambush there at yellow. I'm not sure if Tom realized that there could be 2 rockets there. I didn't, even though I have the team overlay on. Even I didn't realize that they had 2 rockets. And both at yellow nonetheless. Let's see airman's quad. Quad SSG, let's see some frags. Oh, there would have been a beautiful chance for quad SSG. What did Tom have? He had absolutely nothing and he just destroyed that airman squad. Wow. Speaking of caster's curse. Again, a horrible performance. Holy shit. 1 quad SSG was all I asked. I got 0. And he deserved to die. Well played by Tom. And some team frags. Nice quad SSG. Maybe SNG now would have been in order. Yellow spawns in 10 seconds. This is a long wait. And I'm not sure if he will even survive that long. It was a close even M2, but now it's unfortunately lost. There's no way they are getting 34 frags in 1 minute. There be anyone hiding there? No. Okay. So they are hiding in at rocket. Ponczek is at mega now. Airman just board his rocket. Now, okay, they picked up the rocket. Well, unfortunately, this just doesn't matter anymore. Tom gets the last quad. 2 minutes more, and it could be doable. But still, with Firestorm having only 1 rocket, it would be difficult. It would be very difficult. Probably wouldn't happen in 2 minutes. Because even now you see that he lost almost all of his stack. Or I would say that he lost all of his stack. Well, now he definitely did. Alright, DC takes home the 4th map, 248 to 221, and the Division 2 bronze medal for Qlan Wars 2. Congratulations, DC, well played. A well-deserved victory. Absolutely. Let's see some stats, and then I will explain the rocket back thing that I was trying to explain in the middle of the game. So, Pooll top fragging with 71, Tom Annihilator 10,400. Interestingly enough, in many of the maps, the top fragger was not the Annihilator. Ponczek killing the most rockets, 11. Quads now 12 to 8, once again in DC's favor. They were very aggressive with their attacks towards squad, but now yellows actually went in DC's favor rather than in Firestorm's favor. Not by a huge margin, not by any means, but a huge difference compared to the previous E1M2. Mega health's also quite even, 12, 15. Green's extremely even, 25, 24. So now it would seem that DC was able to get a lot more yellows. What about rockets? Very similar as well, 33 to 32. Firestorm dropping 18 to 12 packs, rocket packs. So that is 50% more packs dropped by Firestorm compared to DC. That can already make a difference. So the rocket pack thing. If I just join the server, my finger is pretty destroyed, but I guess I can play a bit. I had a bicycle crash today. So, for example, if I'm just fighting here, it could happen that, for example, with my config, I have rocket bound to mouse 1. So, well, okay, I have this non-blocking weapon scripts, but anyway, that means that when I press mouse 1, EasyQuake will shoot a rocket if I have one. But if I don't have a rocket and I keep tapping mouse 1, then I shoot SG, and then I keep on tapping mouse 1. I'm fighting some SG guy here. I'm holding mouse 1, no, I'm not holding, I'm tapping mouse 1, and then the rocket spawns and boom. I'm tapping mouse 1, I pick up the rocket, I tap mouse 1 again, and then the script realizes that, okay, you have a rocket now. I will use the rocket, and then boom, you leave a pack. So that's the way it can happen, and I think that is what happened to Flamer there when he dropped the pack. That he was tapping SG with his rocket bind and then ended up shooting a rocket. Yeah, I try to use, I have mouse 5, I think it is called. Yeah, mouse 5 is my SG button. I try to use it as well. Sometimes, or quite often, old habits die hard, and I just use mouse 1. And even I can bore like that. It is embarrassing, it shouldn't happen. And there is another way to avoid those accidental bores, and it is by, it's not as secure, but most of the time it will work when you just hold down the mouse 1 instead of tapping it. So then W_switch2 will handle the situation for you, and you will continue shooting with SG. Only if you release the rocket bind and press it again will you shoot a rocket. So as long as you're holding down the button, you shoot with SG. So that's it. Division 2 and actually the whole season 2 of Qlan Wars 2 concluded. Thanks to you, Mr. Proud Sausage, Mr. EB, for running things, and of course the other admins as well, and all the players. It was a lot of fun. for sure. Even though Division 1 wasn't as successful as Division 2 was, but at least we had some kind of final for Division 1 as well, and great playoffs and group season for Division 2, so it was definitely worth it. Always great to have Quake 4 and 4, especially in clan format. Nice to see teams that are sticking together, practicing together, trying to get better, and then battling it out in a tournament. A lot of fun. So here we have it. And yeah, there was a bit of a bicycle crash. Finger is pretty ugly at the moment, but other than that, I'm fine. I'm totally fine. Otherwise, it's just one finger. It hit I crashed with another cyclist head-on collision, and my finger hit her bike somehow. I think the brake lever. So I was going to climb, but not with this finger. I had to turn back. So I hope it heals soon, because I have a climbing trip ahead to Switzerland and the Dolomites in Italy. And with this finger, it would be awkward. Yeah, that's it for the stream. I will find someone to raid, and then I guess I will head to bed, or at least relax a bit. Oh, Sniegov. He's playing some Quake Champions, and he's a nice guy. I will raid him. Yeah. Thanks. I'm hoping it heals fast. It looks ugly, but it doesn't actually feel all that bad. It's only the swelling that is mostly disturbing. It bled quite a bit, and I can see some blood under the skin, but human body can be surprisingly well when it comes can be surprisingly good when it comes to recovery. But yeah, say hi to Sniegov for me, and catch you next time. I will try to stream some, even though it's stupidly hot here. I hope you weren't able to hear the fan that I have blowing towards my legs, but that is what I need to be able to do anything in this room at the moment. All right. Thanks for the season once again. Well played, everyone. Congratulations, DC, and thanks for watching. Catch you next time. Good night.